So I had recorded a huge video that we actually got up to NetZac. I mean, we already defeated Shylock and a bunch of shit. So, yay! I cannot like go and redo that shit. So I am just gonna this entire episode is just gonna be us reading. It'll probably be a lot shorter because we're not doing the fights or anything. But we need to stay on task here. Yeah, so I already unlocked Hod and did a bunch of shit, so this is a bit embarrassing. We defeated Shylock. If I'm being rather frank, Shylock was very, very, very easy. Literally all it was the timing. I did freak out at one point because they almost got max damage, but it was thankfully a dodge instead of a 2 to 16 damage hit. Oh man, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of Shylock. That was a very stressful fight. Why is our office so unpopular with clients? Our office is officially designated by this Waste Association as an affiliate too. And the crime rate of territories secured by the Streetlight Office remains at a remarkable 0% as long as the contract is in effect. We only cover 2 blocks of space at most, though. And we'll eventually get work if we wait. Yeah, sure. You can keep waiting for the rest of your life. I'm seriously considering moving to another office. Never thought you'd have what it takes to work for a bigger office. Unlike you, I have several business connections I made from experience. Do you understand? Your mother must be too busy being a legendary fixer or whatever. Well, I have friends who can help me right away. Yeah, some great fixer you are. Yeah, why thanks, I know I'm great. Hey! You ate the cake in the fridge, didn't you? Guys, I have work for you. Fighting again, are you? This son of a bitch ate the cake without even asking me. The expiration date was yesterday, so I took care of it. That's all. It's my cake, and even if it's expired, I'll take care of it on my own. Anyway, boss, how about that work? Don't change the topic! I'll get you another cake, so calm down for a moment. Alright? But that was a limited edition cake. I'm still rather skeptical about it, but I got this one from a friend of mine at the association. You mean that associate fixer working directly under this way? Yes, it's her. The Hana Association has yet to consider this request as a subject that needs to be addressed officially. Have you heard of the library? Some stories of it. We overheard rats talking about it. Said the books in that place have tremendous value or whatever. I see. I retrieved an invitation to that library from my friend I just mentioned. But we might not get much payment from this request if it's off the record. And it won't count towards any of our official careers either. Such as it is, the association is trying to remain cautious about it. Are we really going to walk right into a place we know nothing about? She did promise to see that we're rewarded with pay comparable to an urban legend class request if everything goes down well. Surely it was a bad idea after all, don't you think? Let's do this. Guess we have no choice. It's still uncertain, but we need that money. We haven't been too busy lately. Thanks, everyone. We'll get through like we always have. Sway, Hannah. They're talking about associations of fixers. It takes more than just setting up an office to jump into the fixer business. There are a total of 12 fixer associations across the city, each in charge of different types of work. Cases and requests are all sorted according to the type and sent to one of these associations. Associations manage offices and delegate work to them, I see. That's right. Sometimes the association might send documents to multiple offices at once, or directly have associate fixers take care of the work. And among them, the Hana Association is in overall control of all fixers. They grade fixers and authorize offices and other stuff. Do officers have grades as well? Yeah. Ooh, getting shit graded. Know the feeling. Essentially, the requests sent out by the association are graded too. They really love to grade things, don't they? It's easier to know that way. Know what? How valuable I am as a person. Think about it. Who in the city would claim, "This is my worth," with confidence? Everyone's busy minding their own business. No one is going to lounge around having deep conversations about each other's self-value. Knowing each other's grades and affiliations, on the other hand, can save a ton of words. You can tell if you're above or below the person you're talking to right away. Sounds like people stop trying to learn or think about it at some point. Bet you won't say that the same once you experience the city life for a bit. You have to interact with so many people out there, whether you want to or not. People have been looking for ways to adapt to the city, and this is just one of them. Guess we really are desperate to think that we'd take on a job like this. Stop complaining. We should be glad to have all the work. Or work at all. I know. Do you really have to point out the obvious? Now, cool it down, guys. Can't tell if your best friends are worst enemies. Excuse me, please don't associate me with this goof. I certainly don't want that either. Alright. Let's have a feast at Julie's restaurant once this is over. The tab's on me. Yeah. Greetings, dear guests. You seem to be well acquainted with each other. Who are you? Prepare yourselves. There is no need to be so wary. Your ordeal has not started yet. I am Angela, the director and librarian of my role's namesake. Nice to meet you. I'm Sans from the streetlight office. We were brought here by the invitation. There's something I'd like to ask about it. What is it? I actually retrieved the invitation from another person, not directly from you. Are we still eligible? Yes, indeed. The invitation eventually reached you, dear guest, and you signed your name with your own will. Everything has worked as intended. I see. May you find your book in this place. Huh. She was a nicer person than I thought. Did that look like a human to you? I mean, she did have the shape of a person, but something about her didn't feel right. Though I can't exactly put it to words. She probably is a machine. Didn't expect to see a machine that's so similar to a human being. Let's focus on our work. Once again, you must back off as soon as you feel that you're in danger. So, what happens in the battle is, Mars ends up dying, and as he dies, he says, "I wish I could have told her sooner." And man, I felt terrible because Lulu was a chick, and not because I didn't realize that. What was being insinuated is that Mars loved Lulu, which, you know, it's kind of fucked for me personally. They're still rookies. It's not a good idea for fixers to form such tight bonds with each other. Well, I guess this will be a lesson for them. You talk as if you're used to all this. Oh, I've already grown past that phase, and some more too. Forming bonds aren't bad per se, but there's just too much risk associated with it. The real deal fixers know when to cut things off. You mean to keep emotions distant from people so that you won't feel hurt from their losses? Yep. It's just ironic that people who aren't even mentally prepared to face death are applying for a job that involves killing in the first place. Personal opinions here. Hod, I'm super hyped for, but at the same time, holy shit! I said this in the original recording, but I cannot emphasize it enough. Hod, Hod. I'm gonna name off top 3 here. Hod, Tifref, and then Chesed. By far, probably the saddest stories, like backstories. So I cannot wait for Tifref, and I cannot wait for Chesed. Chesed's probably He's probably my second favorite when it comes to Sapphires. Hod's my #1 favorite. So yeah, let's get into this. Literature, huh? This has got to be the most unfitting category for the city.
Hello, I am Hod, patron librarian of the floor of literature.
Hey, I'm Roland, helper of Angela in several ways. Physically and mentally. If you know what I mean. No.
I see.
Don't tell me. Do you also happen to hold some sort of grudge against Angela?
I'm not at all friendly towards her, that's for certain. But we made a deal with her, so we're obliged to help her without complaint.
Oh boy, future ain't looking too bright. Everyone's got a problem with Angela. What the hell did she do to deserve this reputation?
She's done something unforgivable, just like I did in the past.
If you have not seen Lobotomy Corporation, watch it. It'll make so much more sense. I still don't know a whole lot about this place, but I can see one thing. Something's terribly messed up with the library and its staff. Can all this even be resolved at some point?
I can't answer that for sure, but you'll get to see the result. After all, this is a clear end to this deal. If you follow Angela along her journey to the end, you will find out.
This is frustrating already. I have guests to receive and librarians to take care of. Can't we all be good friends in the library at least?
Among the books you bring, I will be sorting those about the literature of the city. As we collect more books, you might be able to find answers to your questions, whether you like it or not.
Duh. I'm finally starting to get why Angela hates roundabout speech so much. Alright, fine. I'm gonna dig into the bottom of this mystery now that I've gotten into this mess.
Good luck, Mr. Roland.
Why, thanks for your supportive words, Miss Hod. Do this, because I don't remember what order any of it is in. I'm terribly sorry. It's all my fault that the job went wrong. We are taking our hands off. We're taking our hands off the library from now on. We are taking our hands off. That I don't know why you would just say we're. We are taking our hands off. It's such a weird way to say it. Okay, whatever. This was out of our scope to begin with. I already sent a report this way.
What? What about Mars? Was his death pointless then?
I really am sorry. You can blame me all you want. I misjudged. Our profession is peacekeeping, not exploration or combat.
There's a cake in the fridge. Was that you, boss?
Cake? No, I didn't buy any cake yet.
I'll go outside for a bit. You stupid idiot! It's not like you at all to buy cakes for others. You said your mother's an amazing fixer. You love to show off your stupidly huge sword, saying it's a gift from her. You bragged so much that you'd be just like your mother someday. Mars's book. That's what happens to people who die in there. I won't let them toy with him. I'll never let them. Sans will totally try to stop me if I bring this to him. I'll go there on my own. I've got friends to help me too.
Boy, this is frankly heartbreaking. Shouldn't have seen that.
That's funny, coming from the one who gave a speech on how fixers shouldn't cling to bonds.
That's that, and this is this. Still, reacting to every bit of loss is a waste of energy. Everybody lives with burdens to bear. I have my share of unfortunate events, and so do others. And it's rude to expose that without the listener's agreement. They'll be bothered to learn something they didn't really have to know. They're already carrying a hefty load of emotional baggage, and telling them your sob story will feel like you're just showing off how heavy your baggage is. They might feel a bit of sympathy, but they'll also be displeased. Don't overexpress your feelings whether you're happy or sad, and say goodbye to each other with the appropriate words. It's all for that sake of each other.
That sounds even more tiring to me.
And I shouldn't let my feelings distract me from my librarian work, most of all. I gotta stay level-headed and help you collect books about the city.
You're right. As soon as you become useless to me, I'll dispose of you.
Then I'll go back to my duties of being a useful servant for the sake of my survival, man.
Shut up. I don't need a greeting from a despicable piece of junk. I'm here for Mars's book. I'll get his book, kill all the monsters here, and blow your head clean off. I'm afraid your third statement is going to be difficult for you to fulfill, dear guest. I said shut up. May you find your book in this place. Are you feeling guilt or any strong emotions?
I'd be lying if I said I feel nothing, but I've already seen plenty of this cheap tragedies. Been the victim myself a whole lot of times too.
You sound like a seasoned veteran for someone who introduced himself as a washed-up fixer.
I have my reasons. What, are you curious?
You said it's a rude thing to do, didn't you?
Oh.
Besides, I could simply turn you into a book and read your story if I really wanted to know.
Whoa now. Let's not go there yet. Well, how about you? I'm curious to know what our head librarian thinks.
Me? Indifferent. I've also seen relationships and scripted deaths too many times and repeat. Oh, far, far too many times. So I've been trying to run a system where people are free to choose their own destiny this time around, free from any coercion.
I mean, sure. They all read the warnings on the invitations and agree to those terms by signing their names, but it's still a bit dirty, you know. You're unkillable and I can revive whenever I die.
Again with that. I thought you said my method is fair.
Yeah, you aren't wrong. Much more polite and fair than most things in the city. Alright, here's the books you asked for.
Thanks, Mr. Roland.
No need to be so courteous. You can drop the mister. Just call me Roland.
Can I? Roland.
Much better.
It feels kind of awkward to speak like this right away.
You'll get used to it. How's the collection going, by the way? I'm not sure if the city has anything worth being called literature.
It seems like each person's life counts as a work of literature. The story of one's life is written out like a book of its own. And in that story, comedy and tragedy intertwine in a complex way. I already said this. But it seems rather fitting that Hod is of the literature floor, since she was the training. Since she was the training Sapphira. It's hard to define anyone as pure evil or pure good for that matter.
Exactly my point. Everyone has their own personal affairs.
That's why I'm wondering if it's really okay to blindly hate someone. The fixers from the streetlight office were like a happy family, but we killed them just to get their books. I understand that it was their choice to come here, and we have our own goals to achieve, but still. It feels like I'm just making excuses for myself.
You see, Hod, taking everyone's personal affairs into consideration is only going to end up giving you a headache. You'd sometimes be just as confused as if you hadn't thought about it at all. Thinking about moral standards and fundamental causes and all that only makes everything blurry. All the while your heart is about to burst from the emotional baggage that won't go away. I feel like Brolin has like some really suppressed like internal struggles that he like really needs to like talk about. I feel bad for him, dude. I don't know why. There's just like a deep-seated broship in my core that's just aching for Brolin. In times, just go straight to where your heart leads. No need to learn or know any further. It's much easier that way.
That's your advice as a seasoned fixer, Roland?
I guess so. Here's a favorite phrase of mine. That's that, and this is this. We don't live in a world that can embrace everyone's private matters.
Sounds like you've come to terms with reality.
Did ages ago. It surely was an easy and comfy way to live, all things considered. Just go with the flow, wherever it may lead.
Thanks for the advice. I might need to think about this topic a little more. But the phrase you mentioned might give you comfort for a short while, but it doesn't sound like a motto that will redeem your life.
Well, I suppose people have their own way of interpreting things. I'll leave the books here. See you later then. Or shit, I guess this is out of order. You know what? Alright, here's the plan. I'm gonna read off all the previous stuff, and then I'm gonna cut this forward into the video so that we get everything in order. Alright, guys? Tell me, who do you think will be the one to get through all this mist, claim the collapsed nest at the end? It's hard for me to predict the outcome of this event, Underboss. It has been a while since we were involved in a bloodshed of this scale. However, it is certain that we should not allow the Index to take over the yoke. Well said. The middle, the ring, and the pinky seem to be too occupied with their own business to take part in this strife, so that's a relief. Have you heard of the library? A recently appointed urban legend. Perhaps it will be closely related to this nest we're so concerned with. Go on. Looks like we're about to ride a real big wave.
What wave?
At this rate, the library will soon be exalted to being an urban legend from its status as an urban myth. The city is brimming with cheap urban myths. It's really hard to tell which are real and which are all made up. What's more, a lot of those urban myths turn out to be pretty plain and boring when you get down to the root of it all. The real fun begins when an urban myth gets recognized as an urban legend.
You're being too roundabout. Don't make me take off another limb. If the associates designate us with a higher grade, we can expect to attract guests of higher classes with more valuable information. Is that what you're trying to say?
You got it. Urban legends get talked about. People will begin to acknowledge us as an actual phenomenon in the cities that's worth their attention. You see, when I was a kid, my grandpa used to tell me tales all about sorts of urban legends. They would always send a chill down my spine. Bugger. Didn't want to be reminded of the old days.
Family?
Yeah, a family. I lost them all, though.
So you're without a family now?
No one's with me anymore. I was raised by my grandma. Don't know how my parents passed away, and my grandma disappeared without a notice on one day. And then, never mind. It's nothing special.
What were you even trying to say?
Anyways, you said your goal is to get the one book that'll give you freedom, right?
That's right. I want the freedom to leave this place and the freedom to live as myself. And the freedom to forget.
Then is freedom the only reason you're trying to gather all these books?
You're only half right. During my time living underground, I could only pick up fragmented information about the outside world. I've seen and heard the same stories over and over and over again. I want to hear new stories now. I want to see new faces. That's also why I'm looking for the books that contain everything about the world. And a little bit of revenge at the same time.
Revenge, huh? For what?
I'm taking revenge on the abominable person in the world that made me into what I am. Only after I've completely and thoroughly destroyed everything he dreamed for will my freedom finally be whole. It's kind of fucked up because
Everything he dreamed for was people having hope. So you'll eventually get to the freedom and vengeance you want if we keep following where this red invitation leads us to.
It will guide me to the book that will let me achieve such things, to be exact. How exactly those wishes will come true is beyond me. The one book that will complete me and the library. If I can find that one absolute book containing everything I want to know, all will be resolved.
Wait, hold on. That's your whole plan. Just find the book. You don't exactly know how to earn that freedom and stuff.
The only thing I know for sure is that I myself will become whole at the end of the journey led by the invitation. The library has infinite space. I could extract infinite books from countless guests and store them all if I wanted to. But simply collecting books that are mostly filled with junk without a clear purpose in mind is rather inefficient, don't you think? Hence the invitation's guidance along the path that leads to the book I wish to obtain, as I explained before.
Let's say that you got the one book somehow, but you don't even know what it'll exactly do to you to make you whole.
I don't care what happens to me. I'll be satisfied with anything as long as I get the results.
It's almost scary how tenacious you are. Netzach! Alright, Netzach, buddy. Netzach, librarian of the arts, is lying flat on the floor. Huh.
Netzach casts a glimpse at Roland while still lying on the floor, before turning back again.
The books are all over the floor, too. I'm sensing zero motivation to work. Hello, Mr. Netzach, patron librarian? If you keep refusing to cooperate, Angela's gonna raise hell with me. Please wake up. Know how it feels to give everything you've got to make something, only to see it completely break? I tried so hard building a sandcastle, and it got swept away by the waves. And I bet it was Angela who made those waves. I was woken up once again, called on to take charge of the work I don't want, yet again. Leave me alone for a bit. I want to go back to sleep and get high off of Enkefelin. Boy, oh boy. How could every one of you hate Angela so much? Please help me out, will you? We're in the same boat, you know.
He barely sits up.
You're pitiable, man. How'd you end up in a place like this?
You're pitiable.
I know, right? I think I'm in a pretty miserable spot, too. So can you please spare some of that sympathy for us working hard together? You probably know already, but I'm Netzach, patron librarian of the Floor of Arts. And a proper introduction from me as well. I'm Roland, Angela's servant and librarian worker, but my friends call me Broland. I don't have a lot of friends. I gotta wonder, how am I always left with the kind of work that doesn't suit me at all? You tell me. I never thought I'd work in a library of all places either. Anyway, you're going to be sorting books related to arts from the bunch I bring, right? Apparently. Can you go back now since we're done exchanging names and all? He lies back down on the floor again. Look. You can lie down all you want, but you're gonna do your work, right? It's not like I have a choice in that matter. I'm counting on you. Please make sure to work, alright? He shoos Roland away.
I'll see you in the next one. So mad that the audio cut out. Oh, that pisses me off so much. It won't happen again, guys, I swear.
Hopefully. I hopefully swears. Maybe. I don't know yet.
Either way, guys, stay frosty. Out.